Hello everyone, welcome back. Nate here with 911 Rapid Response. Thanks again for tuning in. And on today's vehicle showcase, we have for you 2019 Tahoe SSV. This is a paramedic chase vehicle that we have completed for Susquehanna Regional EMS, operating under UPMC. And we'll go ahead and start by going over this vehicle and what we have included for the emergency warning. Starting at the top of the vehicle, we have the Liberty 2 light bar in a 54-inch length. This is a duo light bar, so we have red and white to the front. In the corners, as you can see, we have command active right now, so we are steady burning green. And that color is also backed by a red light. So outside of command function there on the corners, we'll have red flashing in the front and the back. Moving down a little bit further, we also have the headlight flashers active. They are not active right now. When the vehicle's in drive, those will be active, flashing back and forth. And that is a factory installed system. So this vehicle came from the GM factory with the headlight flashers and taillight flashers. We just had to tie them into our control system. Furthermore, front of the vehicle, we have the Go Rhino push bumper. This push bumper does not have the integrated light channel in the top. We opted for the Whelen Dominator stick there in the front, which is a 4-head unit configured in red. And those are the Lin 6 modules, so we get a nice linear pattern out of those, rather than the Con 3 modules are the tier modules that would come in that Dominator stick as well. You can see we have a 2-speaker system set up here. We are not running dual tone siren. We are utilizing the control system, which is the Whelen Carbide with OBD2 integration, driving 2 100-watt speakers on a single siren. Down furthermore in the fog lamp cutouts, we have the Whelen M4s. These are emergency warning and combination driving light heads. So we're flashing red here, and we also have the option to steady burn or flash white there. And we can see some of that function later on in the video. And while we're at the front of the vehicle, we can go ahead and take a look at some of the graphics package, which we will see more of as we make our way around the vehicle. Up at the top, we have the paramedic verbiage on the windshield. Down on the hood, which is in reverse, we have the EMS squad there. So if you're looking in your rearview mirror, you can clearly read that. And then across the front bumper, we have the yellow and blue checkerboard set up there. And that'll continue around the side of the vehicle as well. And we'll go ahead and take a look at what we have on the side of the vehicle. Each side of the push bumper, we have the Whelen T-Ion in a duo, which is red and white. Under the mirror, we have the Lin's V2 in red flashing there. We also have the puddle light active since we are in park with the ignition on. Down at the running board area, we have the Whelen T-Ions in a red and white. Opted for those. The tracers are an option there at the running board. They do come with a vehicle-specific bracket. However, we've got a lesser expensive option there with just as much warning. And we do get the functionality of flashing white and steady burning white there as well. Back a little bit further in the rear cargo window, we do have a red and white T-Ion there as well, mounted on a 90-degree bracket behind the glass. And this would be a great opportunity to take a better look at what we have for the package on the vinyl, the graphics here. Market graphics, designed and installed. Great job here done by the team. Very nice. It's a busy package. A lot of stripe, a lot of checkerboard going on, a lot of verbiage. All of this is in the color, the printed reflective. So at nighttime we'll get a nice pop out of this vinyl. And for some more equipment that we have here, not so much emergency warning, but aftermarket equipment. On top of the vehicle, we have the Dometic Penguin HVAC unit. This is required by the customer and operated off of a 50 amp Hubble Shoreline that we have at the back bumper there. When the vehicle's idle and parked at a location, due to the medicines, the fluids, and so on that will be inside this vehicle, we will have to have it climate controlled when the vehicle is off and parked. So again, that unit up top there that we added for them is only operated off of the shoreline. We won't ever be using that while the vehicle's on or anything like that. And again, to keep it climate controlled inside the vehicle in the summer and the winter for all of their medicines, fluids, so on and so forth. We can go ahead and cruise to the back of the vehicle. For emergency warning here, we'll go ahead and start at the top. We have the Whelen outer edge in the upper mount. So we have a total of 6 Whelen ions, 3 on each side, all of which are duo, red and amber. We will utilize traffic advisor function here as well. And that was easily configured with the Whelen carbide system. We also get some turn signal action out of that, and we'll also get some additional brake light action. We can go over that here very momentarily. Down next to the license plate on each side, we have the Whelen T-ion, both in a duo, red and amber. So the reason we're using that traffic advisor function in the outer edges up at the top of the hatch is because that large HVAC unit is blocking most of the rear of the light bar. The light bar itself is not depopulated. It is a fully populated light bar, but we did deactivate the innermost modules because they can't be clearly seen from the back of the vehicle with that HVAC unit there on top. And we're getting that additional warning out of the Whelen ions there in the outer edge. Chevrons here, blue and yellow, to match the color scheme of the vehicle as far as the graphics go. Some more verbiage, EMS squad, paramedic there. And I'll go ahead and pop the hatch and we'll show you what we have behind the gate. Our team here at 911 Rapid Response just box it. We just designed this box for them. Designed and constructed here based on their needs. Up at the top of the box, we have a surface here for USB charging, 12-volt charging, and we also have 2 customer supplied radios that we mounted there for them. On this side of the box, we have on 300-pound rated slides, pull-out tray. So heavy-duty slides here. They can put some weight on top of this and not have to worry about the slides failing. Small open storage here at the top for miscellaneous gear. And this center open storage area actually runs full length to the front of the vehicle, and that is for spine board. So they'll be able to store a spine board or 2 in here and have that ready to go. Simple release of the strap, and they can pull that out. Again, putting it back in, we have a retaining strap at the front of the vehicle to keep that spine board in its place from sliding forward into the driver and passenger area. More open storage here on the passenger side, but on this side we have added the pull-out whiteboard. Again, on heavy-duty slides, aluminum construction. Our graphics team here wrapped that with the white laminated material, so we can use dry erase markers there. Secured with some Velcro, the nylock. Simple use there. Pull that off of its fasteners, fold the flap down, and they have an angled writing surface there to go off of. Another addition here at the top of the hatch as well for overhead lighting when the hatch is up, the red T-ions, which are operated on a mercury switch, deactivating any outer lighting, and then also activating the lighting here. 2 Whelen compartment lights mounted underneath the hatch. Red and white function there. And this box actually does have a front portion which has access from the driver and passenger sides. And we can go ahead and take a look at that here on the passenger side. So each side is identical, having open storage, a fully adjustable height shelf, 12-volt power points there in the back. You can see on this side, that's where they'll have their fluid cooler, IV warmer, so on and so forth, plugged in there. On the passenger side, we have the 2 flashlights there plugged in for them. And while we're here, we can sneak our heads in and see where we have all of our electronics mounted. This is where you'll find our power distribution center, our carbide system, the expansion module. We have two Kussmaul features installed in this vehicle. One is a short plug alarm. Since we're using that larger 50 amp Hubble plug, we do not have an auto eject feature for that. So when the vehicle is turned on, if the plug is not removed, an alarm will sound. We also have a feature built in for the ability for the customer to keep the key on them and leave the vehicle running. And any alteration to the transmission or the brake pedal would shut the vehicle down. So it's essentially an idle feature, but they can leave it running and take the key with them wherever it is they need to go. Okay folks, so inside the vehicle now we'll go over some of the aftermarket equipment we have in the console, as well as some of the aftermarket equipment that we have previously discussed. Inside the vehicle we have the Havas vehicle-specific console here. This is the wide console variant. So we have this additional length or additional width here on the side of the console with this larger pocket here. We can put map books in there, other documentation, folders, 3-ring binders, so on and so forth, whatever it is the customer would like to have at hand. Starting at the top of the console, we have two 12-volt DC plugs here, the relocated factory USB and auxiliary port. Here we have the alarm for the Kussmaul. This is the shore power alarm. So if this vehicle is turned on and the shoreline is still plugged into the vehicle, this alarm will sound, notifying the driver that the plug is still there, and they'll definitely want to disconnect that before taking off. Up at the top here, you can see we have a red light and a little push button here. That is the idle feature that we have from Kussmaul installed. So while the vehicle's running, we can depress this and activate the feature where we can turn the key, take the key out of the ignition, and walk away from the vehicle while it is still running. Two customer supplied radios here, both of which have magnetic mic mounts. The customer still has possession of this mic, so that's the reason why this one is empty here. The wheel-in rotary knob variant control head for the Sencom carbide. And as far as features that we have built in here, we have our left alley feature, takedown, right alley. We have the fog light function for the M4 combination warning lights at the front of the vehicle. We have a command function, simple press of the button there, we can turn on the green corners. Low power button for overriding low power. If we want to intensify the lights at nighttime, when the photocell low powers all the light heads of the vehicle, we can do so. Or we can low power the lights when they are at a full intensity. Backup alarm, this vehicle is installed with a reverse alarm. We can cut that alarm with that button there to save anybody at the back of the vehicle if that alarm isn't needed in any situation. And we also have a multi-press dimmer here so we can control the backlight on the control head. As far as siren tones goes, typical whale yelp phaser on T1, T2, T3 on the rotary knob. We do have hands-free function enabled here, so we can utilize the factory horn for a horn ring cycling through our whale yelp and phaser. Manual siren, air horn, and our traffic advisor features here, which we can go over very shortly utilizing the outer edges. If we get a quick turnaround, we can kind of see from the inside what this HVAC unit looks like. So obviously we have that larger low-profile Dometic Penguin unit on top of the vehicle. This is the distribution box from the inside. So it'll distribute air to the sides, to the front, and it'll also distribute air from the bottom side here. And then down a little bit further, you can take a look. We have the thermostat here located on the front of the box. Easy access for the customer to control the temperature controls there. And we put that at the front of the vehicle, obviously, so we didn't want it to be in direct contact with the air. So it's down a little bit on the front, and again, easy access there for all the climate control. All right, folks, so we're going to go ahead and go over some of the functionality that we had briefly discussed earlier in more detail here. So at the rear of the vehicle, we'll go ahead and show you some of the features that we do have with the OBD2 integrated carbide. On the outer edges, we are going to have some brake function there. So when I depress the brakes, you will see the light heads in the outer edges go active. And we did low power those to give them an appearance of an OEM light head rather than a very intense bright light. We dimmed those down to function like the OEM tail lights. So again, brake light function, and we also have turn signal function. So we're utilizing light heads in that outer edge, again at a lesser intensity to kind of mimic what we have for the OEM light heads. If we go ahead and activate our traffic advisor function as well, utilizing that outer edge, we're getting our center out, left arrow, and right arrow. And if we activate position 1, that'll give us our rear warning and the 2 rear cargo windows on the side. Again, with the brake feature, we're cutting some light there and adding in a brake light. And if we add in position 2 here, now we can come around the side of the vehicle and start going over some of the features that we have up in the front. So features such as left alley. One press of the left alley gives us our light bar. We get that alley, the alley light in the side of the light bar. Second press actually gives us what we have down at the running boards. Those will steady burn white. And again, if we look up at the light bar, we are flashing red in the corners. That command button overrides the flashing to green. And we can cruise around the front of the vehicle. And with the transmission in neutral, or drive, I'll go ahead and switch position 3 on, which will add in our white flashing. Go back to park, that kills white flashing. And we can take a look at our fog light function there, activating the M4s, steady burning. And we can also, one press, flood the front of the light bar. All right, everyone, thank you for following along. Another excellent project here completed by the 911 Rapid Response Team, the installation technicians, our market graphics team, and our 911 Just Box It team really came together and pulled through on this one for an excellent project. Another custom project. Everything that we do really is one-off. You know, our customers have their preferences on what type of light heads they want to mount, what type of light heads they want to mount, where they want them mounted, and the functions that we add into the vehicle. Truly 100% customized process and 100% customer oriented. Congratulations to this customer on the vehicle, and we appreciate the opportunity given to us. If you do have any questions for us, like to give us a shout, give us a call at 717-473-3843. And if you haven't, remember to like, subscribe, and follow on our social media outlets. Plenty more of this to come. Thanks again and have a great day.